So I thought I would just do a quick video for mainly for people who are new to this channel, and perhaps for some people who have never even seen me before, seen my face before. I just wanted to share that why this channel exists, what I do with people, whether it's through my books that I've written or through individual coaching and counseling or through my podcast or through these often silly YouTube videos, is try to go deep with what we actually are, who we actually are when we go deeper with these spiritual ideas and law of attraction ideas. And when we do that, when we become quiet and more in touch with like what's deep within us, or correspondingly and interestingly, when we get really loud and active and we all of a sudden touch what's deep within us, because we can do it by getting really loud and active, not just by getting quiet. When we do these things, we realize we're not what we think we are. And because that is the case, the explanations we often hear on YouTube of these famous law of attraction teachers like Neville, as well as people like, or entities or whatever, like Abraham Hicks, the famous LOA stuff, it sounds good when you watch the video. It can be motivating. It can be inspiring. And it can be informative. But often you will find it's not actually as relevant to your day-to-day life when you try to practice it as you would expect. Neville's advice is notorious for this. I started getting into Neville in 2014. I've published multiple books of commentary on his stuff. I've edited books of his talks and of some of his lectures. I've worked at this point with many, many people on Neville's advice and how to apply it better. And I can tell you that it can be as simple and straightforward as Neville makes it sound, or when you go on YouTube and you hear people tell these success stories. Sometimes it's like that for some people. But for the vast majority of people, it is much more muddled. And there's much more of a gray area between failure and success a lot of the time. And it's a more gradual process than you might expect just from reading the books, hearing the lectures, or hearing success stories on YouTube and elsewhere. And that gray area is where the magic lies a lot of the time, if you're in on this long term. If you want to change your life in a sustainable way, where it's not just about manifesting certain things quickly, and you can do it once but you can't do it again, or you can do it sometimes but you can't do it other times, we got to get deeper than just trying to manifest certain things and treat this like it's some magical wand that makes things come into our life. We have to approach this material that these law of attraction teachers are talking about in a more inner, one could say spiritual way, where we get real with what we're doing and recognize that just because we can't manifest something right away doesn't mean there's something wrong with us, and we're not flawed. We're not doing anything wrong necessarily. There's a lot of deep information here that you just can't try to bash through and understand and think you got it and that's it. And I know that's the case because so many people talk a big game about this stuff. The last couple of years, everybody's talking a big game about Neville and all this stuff, right? But then where are the results? I just... Why don't more people write books about this stuff? Like, why don't more successful people in ordinary life talk about this stuff if it's as easy and simple as people on YouTube make it sound? You got to use your head as well as your heart when it comes to this stuff to realize that there's a lot of BS being spouted and oversimplification and bastardization of these very interesting ideas. And there's something better behind that if you're patient and gentle with yourself and work with this stuff to improve your life in a pragmatic way. That's not to say you can't manifest specific things. You very well might be able to. I hope you can. But you also realize that feeling good more of the time, feeling more in control of who you are and how you feel on a day-to-day basis is hugely important. And it's something that by implementing some of these principles that Neville and others talk about, you'll get better at doing. You'll be able to modify your own behavior more effectively and faster than before. By doing that, inevitably, you will manifest better outer results in your life. It's just an inevitable thing. It's not going to make you a millionaire overnight. It's not going to make you meet that specific person, the next week. That stuff's probably not going to happen to you. But just because it's not going to happen to you like these YouTube gurus say, doesn't mean it's not worth paying attention to this advice and trying to implement it in whatever way you can. And in whatever manner you can. But this, smoke and mirrors type of presentation of Neville's advice is very stupid, in my opinion. And it adds nothing intelligent to the discussion. So let's be intelligent about the discussion. That's what, I hope this channel, as well as my books and coaching and podcasts, can provide you if you're interested in doing that.